Hulu's interface is such dick.
My name is Heather Martin. I'm looking for Chris Harrison.
I have a lady named Heather Martin at the front gate. She's looking to talk to Mr. Harrison.
Heather Martin? What the is she doing here?
So my question is, and again, thank you for listening. Thanks for the support. Why are we doing this? Why is anybody watching this show? Hi, hello, and welcome to another brand spanking new episode of another Bachelor podcast. My name is Dylan. I am saddled up next to a very loud, real Nicholas Davis.
What's going on, everybody?
Patrick, producer of the podcast, over there behind my glasses.
Hey, everybody. How are you?
I'm doing well.
Hey, you're talking really loud. It's really, or maybe my headphones are really loud. Does Dylan talk really loud right now?
No, you know that I don't talk very loud. We've been criticized because I do the mumble thing.
Right. There's peaks and valleys to it.
I don't talk very loud.
All right,
but
it's much
anyway,
better.
so
It was your headphones.
Thank you.
visual aspect here. Well, first off, I'm not doing that great.
You're not.
I dropped my phone in the toilet today. So, they're supposed to be waterproof, but they're not.
Water
No.
resistant, actually.
Okay, well, false advertising. Anyways, I did the rice thing. Just stop telling people to put it in rice.
It doesn't work.
The phone's fucked. Put it in rice? You just feel silly. All right, so,
If it did work, when you'd go to AT&T to complain about it, they'd have a big bin of rice with a bunch of phones
it would
in
look
there.
like a Filipino restaurant
Exactly.
in the back. Yeah. So anyways, Patreon is where you can see this podcast, and you probably want to head there this evening because I am in my favorite cardigan.
Always a crowd pleaser.
Tie-dye kitten shirt that my sister got at Walmart in Ohio, but I'm very comfy. The star of the show tonight is Nick, who is in a kind of like a nuclear waste green blazer. You want to go ahead and tell the fans what you're doing?
Yeah, to the untrained eye, yeah, it's a loud lime green blazer.
And
but,
your eyes not untrained?
but to the trained eye,
Okay.
those with fashion sense, they will realize this is the same jacket that Kit wore to the bowling date. I'm playing my version of Who Wore It Better. We're going to put it out on the social medias, but not till later in the week, because if you want to see it right away, you got to go to patreon.com/another podcast network, sign up for the Birds of War tier, and get some video on you.
Okay.
I will just fall over till Tuesday if we get like 1,000 people jumping on that Patreon just based on that tease.
And to be clear, if it wasn't clear, I know there was a lot of words there. I'm wearing a woman's green blazer right now. You're going to want to see this.
Nuclear waste green blazer, yeah. So anyways, you look handsome.
Thank you. So
You
did
look
Kit.
handsome.
So did Kit. But who wore it better? That's the question.
So I'm gonna hazard a guess that Kit did, but still, you look fit. You look handsome. So we have got to get into a hell of an episode 6, season 55. But before we do,
yes.
you got any public service announcements?
Yes, I'll be brief. The numbers went up pretty dramatically this week. I was inspired by the numbers going up. We got to do more guest appearances on other people's shows.
Got it.
All right, last week we went on For Crying Out Loud. That's Lynette Carolla and Stephanie Wilder-Taylor's show. And we got a huge increase in our downloads.
Thanks, mommy.
So I know we have to have some famous people out there, maybe some people that have a podcast. I don't know if Kay Chastain from Below Deck listens to this or something. Can we be on your show?
Dude, can we do this off mic? Like professional podcasters that we are. I mean, I feel like, he looks ridiculous. You're telling celebrities to hit us up. We are professionals. We can do this through our PR rep, whatever her name is.
I like
She exists.
I like getting the cavalry going, the baby birds out there. Let them do the work for us. You got to tell them, Pat. I like the on-air production meeting.
Thanks. And also, we want to hit 750 patrons by the end of February. So please, if you haven't given us $5 yet, please I'm pleading with you. Stop being so damn lazy.
Hashtag goals.
At the risk of not getting into the show soon enough, I'm going to add on to what Pat said there.
Oh, we flew back past that a little bit ago. So.
Coming up, we're going to have Love is Blind Season 2 on our Patreon only. If you want to go sign up right now, we got Love is Blind Season 1. Gear up.
Honestly, the best work we've ever done.
I
It's
think
the best
so.
show we've ever watched.
Weinhag t-shirt coming soon.
Yeah.
Weinhag.
Weinhag. And
Let me get that again. I don't feel like I gave it 110. Weinhag.
And I just also want to very disagree with him really quick, or not disagree, just posit that it could also be this viral TikTok that now has over 400,000 views.
Wow.
With the caption that just says "Listen to our podcast, link in bio." I think that might have helped as well.
Okay, great.
That being
Can we
said,
get
no
into the show?
entrance in my TikTok contest this week, so I will not be giving out $100. Thank God, and subscribe to our YouTube, Another Bachelor Podcast. I'm done.
Great. So, fan favorite segment. That's general thoughts. That's where we speak about the show generally. I'm going to go first because you guys have been talking for ages.
It makes sense.
I don't know if we have seen this in the past. I know production, like their entire goal is to toy with human beings as though they're rats in a maze. But I feel like the producers are fucking with the contestants more than usual. There's lots of rugs being ripped out from beneath the women. And I just don't know that a lot of it is necessary. Some of them are misses. Some of them are hits. Overall, despite the boring D- Bachelor that is Matt James, I'm really enjoying this season and this episode in particular. 70 pots. Pat?
All right. All right. I got a lot of levels here. By the way, great angle that you had there, Dill. I am not a fan of this season. I don't know what episode we're on. I believe I heard Matt say we're getting close to hometowns,
6, yeah.
which makes me think we're on the other side of the hill here.
Yeah.
I am not enjoying this episode, and I would have given it a 0.
Okay.
All right, for effort, just based on that caught on camera, Tyler Chill might get a hand job by a masseuse bit they did
didn't
there.
quite go there,
which
but-
was extremely hacky.
Tyler thought that's where it was going. I'm with Pat on that one.
But I will say this is the episode I've enjoyed the most, and I'll tell you why. I didn't realize it at the time, but Sty Monster should have been removed episodes ago. Because now that she's gone in that briefcase full of nonsense that helped eat up the first 5 or 6 episodes,
Yeah.
it prevented us from getting to know the girls. Now that I'm spending a little bit more time with the girls, because honestly, I didn't know who Bree is. I haven't gotten to know her. I didn't get to know who Maggie was before he showed her the door.
Well, we still don't know who Maggie is.
All right,
And
that
we've
being
always
said,
known who Bree was.
at the heart of this, Matt is a dud. He's not funny. He's not interesting. He's not anything. He's much like, and I thought about this a great deal. He's like
Driftwood.
Papa John's Pizza. It's just okay. I don't hate it when it shows up. When it shows up, I'm neither disappointed nor excited. I will eat it. I will forget it. The next day it will leave my body. I'll have no memory of it ever showing up.
Really quickly, I have to interrupt your general thoughts.
I think he was finished. Let him get his knots.
No, I'm going to interrupt before he gives his knots. I saw a video the other day of somebody opening up a Papadilla. They were like really incensed. He opens it up and he's like, "Come on, man. This isn't what it's like on TV. Come on."
I guess
It's a Papadilla.
their marketing efforts have escaped me. What is a papadilla?
A Papadilla is a pizza and a quesadilla, a portmanteau, a Frankenstein of the two cuisines. And I tell you, Papa John's hated that product. It's one of the reasons why he was cast out. It wasn't the N-word. It was his adamant opposition to the Papadilla.
I got to be honest. That
We'll get
sounds
to your knots soon.
right up my alley.
Okay, knots?
50.
Okay. Nick?
I said it last week. Why do I watch any or absorb any great piece of art? And it's to feel. And once again tonight, I am filled with emotions. I don't like MJ. I do like Jasenia, even though she has no chance.
Yeah.
I'm waffling on whether or not I like Katie. I'm disgusted by the Tyler.
Clear
You know
your
what I'm
throat.
disgusted by?
Clear your
You know what
throat.
I'm fucking disgusted by? Keep going.
I don't think it was. I don't think it,
was.
warranted.
It was up.
interruption.
It had.
I don't think it warranted interruption. I was flowing, and that's why I didn't want to
great,
stop.
Yeah.
Katie, whether or not you like Katie, Vibrator Katie.
I was
You're like
just-
Redford now in that movie.
is he really upset and lost his train of
at
thought?
sea, yeah.
He doesn't talk. That's not a single piece of dialogue the entire film.
I still really enjoyed it. But anyways, go ahead.
I was disgusted by the stunts with Tyler C. and that straight out of fucking, I don't know, that Heather move. That was
Oh my
Heather
God.
Mullins.
oh
Yeah.
ugh. But 43 knots. I'm really thrown.
Nick, I'm sorry.
Really got thrown off there. Okay, so let's get into the episode.
You don't want to mention that great sneak tease that they put at the beginning?
This is what I'm going to kick the episode off with, because listen, I really appreciate people listening to this show and supporting us, but I want to play the cold opening of this show really, really, really quickly.
I have some thoughts on it.
And then
Okay.
ask a
We'll break down the
follow-up
game
question.
film.
Okay. Hulu's interface is such dick.
My name is Heather Martin. I'm looking for Chris Harrison.
I have a lady named Heather Martin at the front gate. She's looking to talk to Mr. Harrison.
Heather Martin? What the is she doing here?
So my question is, and again, thank you for listening. Thanks for the support. Why are we doing this? Why is anybody watching this show?
I
We
agree.
are together. Why are we all watching this?
I agree.
We're better, I think.
By the way, that was so hackily produced. I don't even know if it's a word, but you get what I'm
Hackly's
saying.
for sure a word,
All right,
yeah.
so Heather Mullins drives up in that mom minivan.
Don't think that's her name. I think that is
Martin.
Yeah.
Heather Martin shows up.
It's a Freudian slip.
It's a birdie out
Yeah.
there squawking in our Facebook. Right?
Yeah, Heather Mullins is the Q Drop Nut Job in another Podcast Network Facebook group.
I wouldn't go that far, but yeah, we had some infighting today.
No, I like her.
Keep
She's
it
sane.
classy, everybody. We
She's
love
sane.
you guys.
Okay. Anyway, and so Harrison apparently took a phone directly out of the security box to address this. I don't think that was Harrison on the phone in real time. I think that was added in post.
The hell?
I have a very trained ear at this point. I don't know if you guys listen to Business Wars by Wondery. There's a narrator who very intensely.
Do you want to hear if we do or not?
Yes.
I don't.
No.
I don't.
Okay, it's good. Check it out. Instagram versus TikTok, Coke versus Pepsi, Blockbuster versus Netflix.
I like the premise.
Honestly, it's really good. but
That's
this
pretty cool.
It's overproduced. Like there's a very intense narrator who gives
I
you
feel
things.
like he's loud now.
But then when you give the then when you get the
Is it the weed? Wait, what's going?
it's the interruptions.
Oh, sorry. I wasn't interrupting you though.
Then there's just slide it down and don't say anything. There's a narrator who's very intensely telling you what's going on,
Yeah.
but then when you get some of the dialogue, it's like they change the audio produce so it sounds like it's like phone conversations.
right,
it
right.
sounds exactly like what they just did to Chris Harrison there, and it's pathetic. I also agree. I don't think that was real time.
Hackily. Complete hackily. So we last left off with the modern version of the 2-on-1, that being a
Hackneyed is the word.
That's right.
A
Damn
quick performance review in firing 5 minutes before the rose ceremony. Now, you remember that Matt showed up in his cute Porsche while the two girls are sternly mic dropping over one another, and then Matt enters.
Call him Columbo. Okay, Columbo, let's get to the bottom of this.
Do you not know who Columbo is?
No, I'm aware of the detective, but I just don't know if I'm going to call him. I was mulling that over. So really quickly, the decor of this room, I said that word quickly, and just in case you didn't hear it, the decor of this room is fucking bizarre. There are hot pink floral towels. There's a headless, limbless bust. I don't know what the fuck is going on in this room.
I just saw on a viral TikTok that pink, it's been known if it's like covering a room, people in the room, their strength decreases by 30%. They would often paint drunk tanks pink to like settle down the inmates, and even locker rooms, opposing team locker room, would be painted pink to like settle down the competition. So maybe they're worried that it'll come to fisticuffs amongst these ladies, and they don't want them at full strength.
What do you mean?
Makes sense to me.
What do you mean strength? Physical strength? Mental what do you mean?
It's literally like there's a mental effect that it's like It's like red makes you angry.
Got it. Yeah, I didn't need to follow up on that.
I think people knew.
So our bachelor sits down and releases a pretty big sigh. Then somberly tells them that he's here to find a wife and pulls Jessenia first. Now, MJ is sweating. She's talking about forgetting the bad bitch that she is and making her hair look more luscious and staticky because she knows that going first is very vital in these encounters. We've talked about it before as a hard limiter on that brain power.
Yeah, and she had that complete mental breakdown and then tried to convince us that she was back. She's the bad bitch.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys have ever seen the meme of the girl. There's a couple drunk girls dancing on a truck tailgate, but one of them is like crying and trying to keep it together. That's what I was seeing from MJ. A lot of people out there know that meme. It's a great meme.
Not a bad bitch.
Huh? Not a bad bitch. Saying she's a bad bitch, but you can see it behind her eyes. She's broken and she knows her time is coming soon.
She turns on the tears when she's with Matt. I thought it was a masterful performance. She's very somber and whispery and very heartbroken.
Well, and this is interesting because Jessenia went in there with Matt and she gave a performance of her life. He ate it up. He convinced Matt that MJ was just as bad as the Sty Monster, right?
Okay.
So right before MJ is about to go talk to Matt and give her side of the story there, she said that she was going to pull it together and no longer be have a weak bitch moment. And I didn't know what that meant at the time until I realized what it was. It means she was going to go lie her ass off and pretend to be a victim.
Yeah, well, listen, at this point, and I don't want to sound like a chauvinistic pig, that's Pat's line on this podcast, but at this point, I'm thinking in his mind, MJ looks like she's probably better in bed. Mm-hmm. You never know.
I
but
would say
for
so.
that reason and that reason alone, I'm thinking MJ's got this in the bag the entire way because that's really the only metric he's using to find love here.
I agree.
I gotta agree with that. I did love Jessenia's strategy though. She because MJ has these like pre-written lines. She keeps saying she stands for peace. She stands for love.
Weak bitch, bad bitch.
Weak bitch, bad bitch. And the number one that I kept hearing is she leads by example, which was confounding. But I loved when Jessenia said, she keeps talking about leading by example. And I was just hoping, praying MJ would say it to Matt's face the whole time during that second encounter. But it just didn't come out. It was really exciting for me.
He would have sent her home immediately if she had said that. So they fight quite a bit more. They exchange weak bitches, and then Jessenia calls her by her Christian name, which I thought was pretty intense.
Meredith.
I understand why she's combined the M and the J, because Meredith is
an old person's name.
It's an old person's name.
And I think MJ was probably about 10 when The Office started, and Meredith was just a drunken embarrassment.
She got raised.
I think it goes a little further back. I'm feeling family ties with Meredith Baxter Burney.
I don't think that's
you
why
are
MJ
older
changed
than
her.
us. Yeah.
The only reason I know who Meredith Baxter Burney is from a Jim Gaffigan bit. He uses her example of a woman who would be in Lifetime original movies.
Okay, so
Meredith Baxter Burney.
anyways, Jessenia is this is a bad note that I have. Anyway, Jessenia is petty, and I hope he figures it out. So I don't think that about her.
I think MJ thought that about her.
Oh, is that what she said?
Yeah.
Okay, can we get to cockies?
Before we do, we got to say how this all ends. Matt renders his decision. He tells Jessenia, you told me you wanted to be a rock. He tells MJ there was a connection that was undeniable. That being said, he will dispense it for her in an undramatic fashion, despite the intense music beds to attempt to fool us into giving a shit that MJ may, in fact, still stay. Yeah. I also want to say Matt was hurt as he handed MJ her walking papers. Can you squeeze me in for Tuesday morning? It's COVID times and all. Making an appointment is a pain in the ass.
Yeah, he's saying Matt wanted to get his hair done after he kicked her out.
Yeah.
But once he kicked her out, I don't know if you guys heard this, but oompa doompa oompa dee dample, MJ is gone despite leading by example.
Okay, so let's get to
the fans love that.
I know they.
Shitface walks in, tells the girls that Matt feels hopeful about this process, but because Matt had to choose between 12th and 11th place this evening, he does not have the energy to see them before the roses. So, Serena. It's pretty violently upset about this. She really is a bad bitch. She's like, I wish you pussies wouldn't have brought up any fucking thing about bullying. We'd all be getting drunk right now.
It's a fair argument, but I do believe it needed to happen because we need to get rid of some of the annoying characters, the troublemakers.
The MGs.
But she did come down on Vibrator Katie. I feel a little too hard, but I realized in that Facebook group this morning, boy, this issue here is quite divisive amongst the birdies.
What's the issue?
Well, there's Team Vibrator Katie, and then there's fans of Asian Serena. I don't know who to pick. I don't want to.
You have to call her Asian Serena.
There's two Serenas here.
Okay, yeah.
Oh,
you could go with the
one with a lot of space in
punky
between her
Serena.
eyes. The one with a lot of space in between her eyes. I don't want to be a.
Okay, there's P and C. You can just use those two letters.
I don't
but
know which one's
Asian
which, so I
Serena's
cannot.
fine. So, there are two women screaming. Can we get to the rose ceremony?
Sure.
When Serena first in this moment called out Katie, she mentioned how like you come in with your sex positivity, and that to me is the red flag with Katie. If she has a shtick, if you go on her Instagram pre-Bachelor, she wants to be like open about sex. That's why she brought the vibrator. She's a little bit more calculated than she may have seemed.
That shtick is getting a little old for me. And for me, it came on my radar with those two girls that have the big popular podcast on Barstool. Now that is a thing. It's a bunch of 23-year-olds podcast with a lot of people listening. And why wouldn't you? About who they fucked last night. And it's all about...
Hey guys, so I literally had his head at the top of my Adam's apple, and I almost threw up.
Well, that's the co-ink.
Why are people listening? I don't understand why people are listening to hustling whores.
It's because it's a bunch of prudes who don't want to act like that because most people
Sure,
are worried of judgment. But the people who are championing this are not afraid of judgment. They realize that the other side has monetary effects and social status that works for them. But most people can't do it, so they live vicariously through the
Got
whores.
it. Yeah,
well, that's what Vibrator Katie's doing.
That makes sense.
No, she's being the whore that other people will live.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Another great example of this, not saying she's a horse, sweetheart, friend of the show, our first ever guest, or maybe second from Bachelor Nation, third, Tay Mocha.
That's right. Yeah.
Just started an OnlyFans.
Oh, come on.
Oh yeah, and
it's always it's quite a bait and switch though, because I keep hearing about these OnlyFans pages, and you go on there and they're just taking pictures in bikinis and stuff. You know,
That's still kind of fun.
and it's really hard to get your money back. I mean, that's what I hear. That is a joke.
Also, there's a ton of porn stars out there. They're professional. You know.
Yeah, but you haven't seen them on TV yet. You haven't developed like a relationship with them.
I've developed relationships with them.
Tay Mocha though, steep price, $20.
Okay, so
I'll see if we could get a couple free codes for the fellas.
Who do we have this rose ceremony?
All right, before I do the roll call, I must announce that there are three women that, in fact, have roses prior to the roses given out, just so there's not any confusion. Ashton Kutcher's wife, who got in some hot water with Rachel Lindsay, I guess, about some comments she made.
Oh, yeah. Are we going to talk about that on APS?
Yeah, we'll get to that on
Okay.
APS. And then we also have Abby and then Kit. They already have roses.
I am so excited to talk about First Rachel on APS, because I just like Rachel, you are not a civil rights leader.
No, she is.
In any way, shape, or form. A large majority of people have no fucking idea who you are.
But Rachel has really mastered the art of war. She takes the positions where if you like take the other side, you're treading on really thin ice. So we have to be careful. Despite me being firmly in the camp of Mila.
I don't know what Mila did, but we'll talk about.
I'm sure it was almost nothing.
She went to a party on a plantation, and like,
let's talk APS. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Pat.
Oh yeah. Okay, all right. I want to talk about Tayshia Adams too. She just did her first segment on Access Hollywood. I know I'm not groundbreaking making a call that Tayshia would be hosting Access Hollywood, but I believe those words came out of my mouth 6 months ago.
Oh, wow.
And she is now part-time hosting Access Hollywood. Anyway, are you ready for a roll call?
Nostra Hickey.
Here's the roll call. Here's the young ladies who are staying. Serena P., the girl that doesn't have a lot of space between her eyes. Michelle, I compared my wife to her and said, hey, she kind of looks like you. That almost caused a fight last night. Piper, did anybody check her ID? Too young. I know it. Bree, so pretty. Chelsea, the model.
he didn't do quotes.
Vibrator Katie, the narc, a.k.a.
More
the next
ta-da. The people that go home are Maggie,
the pharmacist, Ryan, the I should be nicer, the girl that looks like she got her dress at a swap meet.
Okay, so
and Brittany.
I'm going to cut out what Ryan the
That was his whole one line. He had them married to each other. You need them both, or the second doesn't fit.
Looks like it's going to be a long censor beep sound effect. But anyways, Brittany, thanks for coming on the show. You got called a professional whore, and then you got the boot. No regrets.
Honestly, that was like...
She went home.
We bring her to the forefront of social consciousness to destroy her reputation, and then we don't even get a send off. It made it look like they rolled out the red carpet for Hand of the Chief Stew on our other podcast, Below Deck.
Yeah, exactly. Well, this is my thing. Like, the producers go, "Hey, I know that you are horrified by the boil underneath her eye and stuff like that, but we have to keep the Sty Monster around for at least 2 weeks." You can't do that for Brittany. You can't be like, hey, she was called an escort on national television. Let's give her a couple week buffer so it doesn't look so pathetic.
But I don't really feel bad for her. I feel like she's gonna have a full dance card the next year, the night of her elimination.
What's a dance card?
A bunch of people waiting in line.
A bunch of guys taking her on trips, and her taking solo Instagram shots like she paid for the trip herself. She posted on her Instagram. She goes, "Well, guess I'm still single. Who's gonna be my Valentine? DMs. I'll fly you here. I'll fly you there. Blah 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 blah. But not an escort. Okay.
You good?
I wouldn't get the camera.
Juicy Scoop refers to that as hooker light.
So next day card gets dropped. Piper, aka Masende, is going on the one-on-one, but the producers have set up a feud between Serena C and Katie. Now listen, Serena, I love you, girl. You jet set all over the country. You take nips out of travelers in the back of the cabin. And you may very well, be the direct cause of no less than 10 divorces, across the Cincinnati, Ozark region. But... and do you, girl. No judgment here.
Oh, yeah. I will say, though, that kind of behavior is exactly what got the HIV virus spread throughout the 80s like wildfire. They said it was actually a person that was working as a stewardess on an airplane, bouncing all around the world, banging away. And it's not good.
And again, I thought it came from a monkey.
Yeah.
It started there.
Okay. So, and we're not saying that Serena does this or that she spread the HIV virus in the 80s. But, again, do you, girl. No judgment. But do not come after my girl Katie, okay?
And then I thought of gay guy, fuck that monkey.
Okay, so Serena C calls Katie an arsonist, which is apt because Katie lights her the fuck up. And listen, I am really, really happy for these... What?
Fire line.
Thank you. I'm really happy for these scrubs that keep coming to her and keep stepping on her because it gives her the opportunity to build her character within this world. Because let's face it, we'll get to it later. Matt is definitely not feeling it. She's sent home this evening, but she's staking her place on this show by batting down weak bitches that step to her. She's a fan favorite because of all of the feuding that she's gotten into.
And honestly, at this point, for my take, again, some birdies disagree. I don't think she's done anything wrong. I thought it was tacky with the whole vibrator thing showing up there. But as far as ratting people out, that's fine. That's her own business.
And again, she didn't rat specific people out. She just said...
Called out what was taking place. She wasn't making up stories.
Yes.
To Serena's point, she essentially just lit a match. But that match didn't have a name.
No, it did not. Matches are too small. You can barely write anything on them.
Sometimes there'll be those like very niche artists who they'll write really small on stuff, and they could sign their name on a match.
Yeah.
And then you see it under a microscope at a farmer's market.
Is that right?
Have you ever seen that?
Okay, so the fight moves into the next room.
Well, before it does, I want to say I enjoyed this fire line. I'm going to use it in the future. Dylan, call me a piece of shit hack.
You're a piece of shit hack.
Thanks for your feedback.
Oh, okay.
It works better with the hand motion. Thanks for your feedback. I just did the hand motion. It's like rolling, like I'll tumble for.
Pay that $5.
And
I'll
again,
tumble for
it's
ya.
10, and that jacket is handsome. So the fight moves into the next room. Any highlights, or can we get to the shock of the episode that I've already played?
It didn't speak well of Serena going in there and basically just kind of backstabbing her in front of the group, trying to curry favor or get people on her side.
Yeah.
And it's just, finish this off with her. What do you got to do now? Come in here and backstab her or back channel?
This was a moment where I've been remiss actually to not bring this up. There's a number of girls on this season. I need to find their address, not to stalk them, not to watch them
Their
outside their
home
window.
address?
Yeah, to mail them a book, and it's called Extreme Ownership by Jocko Willink.
Yeah.
Serena, Katie has nothing to do with Matt not loving you. You have everything to do with Matt not loving you. Please take a look at yourself, work on yourself, love yourself, and then you'll be able to.
That was
Well
a really,
said.
really loud sip, but I do want to show the camera. You guys know I'm a sucker for packaging, right?
Yeah.
And I love the game Monopoly. I saw this Path water, a water bottle. It's Monopoly branded in Gelson's. I had to buy it. Okay, so Heather, who I think was eliminated in week 4 of Colton's season.
One of the most unforgettable seasons ever.
It is nice. The packaging.
Yeah, I think it's great. She shows up in a handicapped transport van and says that she's had sex now and she's not going to let Matt get engaged without meeting him. Don't furrow your brow. She was the virgin.
Oh, no, I know who she is. I was
Okay.
You said handicap van. I was going to make a joke about Sarah's dad kind of being
Oh,
in there.
don't do that.
I was like, hey, it's too far away. It's not in good taste. I'm not going to say it.
Yeah, thank God you didn't.
Dylan, you covered most of the beats of how she landed here, but you did omit a few.
Okay.
If I may give my own take.
Is this
Harrison.
one of these verbatim things you're going to do?
Well, yeah, it's play by play. Apparently, Hannah Brown, the love whisperer, right, mandated this plain Jane must drive her white minivan to meet a great catch named Matt, who had 3 roommates up until 3 weeks prior to filming.
Yeah, exactly. She hosts everybody in Blamma Jammas over ham steaks and doles out love advice. Okay, so this scene, as I played at the top, is fake. It's phony, and Chris's acting makes me want to throw up. But he did let us in on a little truth. He's a farm animal. He's not in charge. He says he's got to run this up the hill.
Run it up the flagpole.
Yeah, he's got to run up the hill to this little mouse that's praying over the frozen head of his dead Nazi creator, you know.
It was a good bit.
Okay, all right.
I just think Mickey was up there. He's like, Pennsylvania's not that bad.
Okay.
No, Mickey.
I could make a home here.
No, this is what Mickey said when he got that news. More is better. More.
Yeah, it's very confusing. We'll talk about it later, but why? Why'd you say yes? Why is she here at all? What the fuck is going on? Why'd you say yes?
And then after Mickey got done fucking Minnie, he started talking about the Bachelor. More. That's what he was fucking Minnie.
Okay, so Piper, one-on-one.
Oh, yeah. It starts off as a night date, by the way.
Once again, we just get these nighttime dates.
Now, and if I may, Dylan, just taking this in, Matt's night date surprise is exactly what you'd put on if you were courting a 14-year-old.
I can't remember this.
It's an amusement park.
You got anything on that? Okay.
Roller coasters.
Before
funnel
we do,
cake.
Piper does not look 14.
She
years
looks
old.
14, dude.
She's a beautiful adult of age woman. I think she's fine too.
whatever helps you sleep at night, creepo.
No, you think
No,
she-
I think she's absolutely gorgeous. So, this carnival was almost as good as Tasha's.
Thank God.
If
Yeah.
I may,
It's just fucking unbelievable. Tasha's carnival was with Poodlehead. I forget his name. He's so
The
handsome.
Lisperer.
Brendan.
No, Brendan.
Oh, sorry.
Brendan, the commercial roofer. They're throwing rings at milk bottles with his niece. It was 115 degrees outside. Here, they've chopped down an entire wood and they've thrown up 15 different attractions, some of which go sky high. I mean, it's unbelievable, the disparity.
I am always blown away by what production companies like ABC or Warner Brothers have in those gigantic silos of costumes and various things in movies.
Yeah.
Fucking Disney owns amusement park rides. This has been a bit that they've put on this franchise at least 20 times.
Yeah.
We'll have to go back and get the game film and see if these. I recognize the Ferris wheel. I think they're not renting this. Disney owns this.
Got it. They're rolling it in.
Oh yeah.
I think they only rolled in that giant Ferris wheel because I did take screenshots of Brendan's carnival. I cannot find them, but it was something I could make after a trip to the store to Michael's.
Yeah, apples and.
A large
carnivals,
carnival.
yeah. I do not like these attractions. The rides make me sick. The games make me angry. We've talked about it before. I'll lose $40 in a heartbeat. Get a Twix bar just because people feel bad for me. They can't figure out how do you bounce it off the board and then get it in the bucket underneath.
I can't agree with you enough, Dylan, although it wasn't that I'd lose $40. It was that I was never given money to play those games.
Oh.
So I had to go around doing all the free shit at the carnival. And then one time in 7th grade, me and my girlfriend, Amy Fitzpatrick, went on the zipper and I cried in front of her. So no, I don't like carnivals.
Well, and I wasn't saying that I was given $40 by my parents, although I was a spoiled child. I'm saying that I went to a children's carnival recently pre-COVID, and I lost a lot of money trying to figure out how to get that ball off that board into the bucket. And I thought that I would figure it out. I didn't.
I want to go. Now I can play those games.
All right, so Meanwhile,
Katie
gets the one-on-one. Also, Heather has arrived at Hotel Nomenclature. Now, Heather's a star. We all know it. So let's take a listen to her selfie video really quickly, which she could have done as many times as she wanted until she got it right.
So, I talked to Chris Harrison, and I have officially made it to Nemicolin. I am here. I'm quarantining, and I am hoping and I'm praying that I can get through this. I did one COVID test so far. One COVID test, and I'm COVID-free according to that test. I had one today, and hopefully in a day or so, or a couple of days, I can meet Matt.
Her last name should be Who Gives a Fuck.
Okay, so a couple things here. One, why is this on TV? Period. But two, if it's going to be on TV and you get this from her, tell her to do it one more time.
One more time.
Try it one more time without getting every single fucking thing you said wrong. Try one more time.
Say 7 days.
And they gave her like 3 beats, and one is like, make sure you tell them you don't have COVID. And that was like her only note.
And she was like shaky, like somebody asked her, like, hey, how you been feeling lately? And she's like, oh, I got one COVID.
And honestly, Dylan, I hate to break it to you, but this was she did it 50 times. This was in fact her best take.
Back to the night date.
Night date.
Piper is freaking because of all that pain that she has, and that she has to unveil to the Bachelor. Now, it's not quite ALS, but it is heartbreaking. Her family isn't great at communicating affection.
Well, I read that as her mother's a cold bitch.
You all right?
She essentially said that. And I was thinking, hey, save this for family therapy, okay? I got a better use of my time watching this show.
I was picking up what kind of the same thing Dylan was laying down. Like, this girl doesn't have trauma. Her trauma is that her mom had to work, so she didn't get a hug every time she came home. It's pales in comparison to dying relatives.
Yes, it's like that Canadian girl in Colton season where he's like, so what's going on? She's like, nothing.
Life's good.
See friends, go to dinner, walk my dog.
Are you sure?
Yeah, no, everything's fine. Okay, this isn't going to work.
But that's what happens because the Bachelor's like, we can never have that happen again. I don't care how good your life is. You will say something and you will start crying in front of him.
So can we get to Temecula Road?
We absolutely cannot, because prior to that happening, this happens. She's starting to fall in love.
I forget. Like, please,
it's all right.
Please forgive me for the dereliction of duty, but it's almost like now. And this is a fan favorite bit where Pat plays a sound effect from his phone, and then the YouTube clip plays something else, and then Pat has to scramble to turn it off. And if you rewind, you'll hear it. But anyways,
I like it when there's like a 35-second whistling sound before the bomb drops.
Hey, can I set Temecula Road up, please?
No. So I don't know who the fuck
How about you guys both give it a shot?
Okay, let's do dual intros. Okay.
Well, okay.
Okay. So
what do we trade off?
Okay.
Okay. After that amazing dinner, Matt has one more surprise for her. It's her favorite band.
Okay, so
Temecula Road.
I have I don't know who the fuck I am really, because I'm going through like a SZA neo soul stage right now in my life. But mass-produced pop country, like that bigot Morgan Wallen, really, I mean, it just hits me right in the heart. With that being said, this is unadulterated shit. It's pure shit.
Dylan, Temecula Road is a band created in a lab to appease the ears of white, boring people with no taste.
Yeah.
It's a crime. It's criminal, actually.
They were like, how can we make Rascal Flatts more vanilla?
Yeah. I love that one dude.
Oh, yeah.
You know, the guy. Okay, so
honestly, can I say something? It's one of the reasons I hate Miley Cyrus. By the way, if you want to hear me rant about Miley Cyrus on like 8 episodes,
he's done it a few times.
It's just go on to that Patreon.
Who the fuck does this bitch think she is?
I don't say that.
And if you want to hear me give an impassioned defense of Miley, also tune in.
My problem with this band is what I have with Miley, with a lot of people, which is when you're singing like that and you're emoting, it's supposed to be like the great singers of like the 50s, 60s, 70s. They were alcoholics.
Joplin,
they had horrible marriages. People died. They're brokenhearted. These people are 22. Nothing bad has happened to you.
Right.
What are you whining about? What are you emoting about? It's almost like you're doing an imitation of someone that actually felt those emotions.
There you go.
And I sense it.
Have you ever punched Jim Morrison out at Barney's Beanery before? No. And also, don't go to Barney's Beanery, because it's $13 for a chili cheeseburger. It's existing on the stories of the past, and it's just a tourist trap.
You know, John Tapper managed that place for about 20 years, and he was managing it at the time where a sign read above the door as you entered, "No F's allowed."
He meant Jake Tapper.
John Tapper from... it's not John Tapper?
It's John Tapper. I was joking.
Tapper,
Jake Tapper. But I want, I didn't mean
They
to
took a
interrupt.
Sunday show away from him.
Can you believe that on Santa Monica Boulevard, Barney's Beanery would have a sign that read that?
No F's allowed.
True story.
John Tapper put that up?
He didn't put it up. He managed the restaurant and allowed it to stay there for years.
I think this may be libel and or defamatory. I'm not sure, though.
Yeah.
I'm still kind of stuck on your point about that Temecula. You don't think Temecula Road is an innate talent that rose like the cream of the crop they are. Instead, they were just the best looking group of people at a catacall at a mall 50 miles outside of Nashville.
And I just want to ask you guys really quickly, do you think that we've spent a little too much time on Temecula Road? Because I don't necessarily think that we have, but I just wanted to ask.
I do, and I blame myself.
I've got like 10 more minutes, but I'll save it for next week.
Okay, so back to Heather. She is holding a pizza on her head that she's about to eat. And she's doing this so she can show the stomach that she's been working on. Once again, marvelous work, producers. Marvelous fucking work. Let's get to the bowling date. Nick and I once went bowling next to Miles Teller. Do you remember that?
I do. I think he looks like Tyler C.
I mustn't have gotten the invite.
I doubt you didn't.
He didn't. Yeah.
It was me, Dylan, Cece, and Rusty. You know, the big
Rusty
four.
went out, yeah.
Yeah. We didn't do any cocaine, but wanted to that night. I remember.
Yeah.
And yeah, Miles Teller bowled right
Okay,
next
so
door.
I have a very inconsistent bowling game. I'll think that I've found my stroke, and then it just completely disappears, you know. But these girls are going to be put to the test because they think that it's all fun and games, you know. They think that it's a kid's birthday party. They're just going to have some chicken wings and some celery sticks and some soda pop. But the Birdman comes in. And he ruins the entire fucking day.
I know he makes Kit take off her jacket.
He makes this a competition, and then, following the pattern that he's set all season, he berates the hypothetical loser, says you're going to be walking home, crying in the fucking rain. And that will be the Blue Bombshells. I don't want to move past this. I don't know if we should, but I feel like this is an important moment in the show for the jacket. So do you have anything before we move on? Is there anything about the jacket?
I've been excited about this for a day, wearing this jacket. But the gist of the bit is that she had this jacket on. I also now have the jacket on.
Right.
There's not much more I can elaborate on.
Okay, perfect.
But we are wearing... I'm wearing what Kit was wearing. And she is a fashionista. If you don't see the humor in that, unsubscribe.
Okay, so as I mentioned, the hypothetical loser turned real is the blue bombshells. And that is because Abigail, I don't want to make fun of someone who has a cochlear implant, but Jesus Christ, how fucking not clutch are you? Gutter ball? A gutter ball in the last frame to win it? God help you.
She should have tried setting the ball down, putting her finger in it, spinning it, and then just sending it off.
Alley Cat Strike Back.
Yeah. And it was not Kaylee Cuoco.
No, it wasn't.
Hey, if I may digress before the Pink Ladies win, Matt starts the game out by announcing that he insists upon it being a clean game. And I was thinking, Matt, what are you worried about? Some competitors tying each other's shoelaces when someone isn't looking? Or worse, someone throwing a bowling ball at another person's head? Matt, those bowling balls weigh 6 pounds. Have you ever tried to throw a 6-pound object at another person's head? It's impossible.
You'll tear your fucking elbow out. All right, so
Despite all that, I didn't see any of those antics. There was one of our baby birds in the Facebook group was appalled by the bowling etiquette. So maybe that's what Matt was alluding to, and he did not get his wish granted. They were chucking the ball, they were passing the line, other things you're not supposed to do at a bowling alley. It was very uncouth.
God help you. You know, pass your toe over the line. John Goodman will pull out a gun. You know, I'm referencing that famous cult hit.
Roseanne,
overrated.
Barton Fink. So I feel bad for these girls because you have this sick Carney Harrison coming in, and he's eliminating half the girls from spending time with Matt. And you've got Matt saying that he's too tired to have cockies, and some of these girls are just up shit's creek, and Matt's laughing at them. But you know, I have to say, Abigail, find the fucking 3-pin then, you know? Don't throw the fucking ball in the gutter. You got to play the game, baby.
But at worst, Dylan, she should actually walk up to Matt to attempt to have a conversation with him.
Yeah, sure. So before the night date, the girls are going back. They're devastated that they've lost out on this time with him. Rachel, you know, that bigot slave driver, she is devastated. And I'm thinking, do me a favor, shut the fuck up, okay? You just went on the Pretty Woman date, all right? You got bloody shoes, okay?
I thought she was pissed because she just heard about the Emancipation Proclamation.
Nice.
So Matt feels horrible, evidently.
Right.
Because the girls he likes lost.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, good point.
So he has called the girls back. It has gone from a 4-person group date to a 9-person group date once again.
May I remind the audience, he didn't give the girls who won, the Pink Ladies, a heads up. Gentlemen, I think, would have done that. It was to their surprise when the other girls showed up, and they were very upset by that.
Also, he's drinking a screwdriver. That is not an evening beverage. No. It's not an evening beverage.
Looks more like pineapple juice to me.
Okay, so Michelle and him have a good chat all the while the blue bombshells are coming in.
I think Michelle is so hot, by the way. She looks like my wife. I think she's so hot.
Why'd the fight ensue?
My wife thinks
she's hotter.
She said something unpleasant about her facial structure. You know, Cherie's very mean.
Yeah.
So
okay.
Me and Cherie don't always agree, but I'm firmly in her camp on this one.
Okay, so does it feel like the producers, this is what I mentioned, does it feel like the producers are going out of their way to fuck people over this season? Like, this is just like so fucking mean. But anyways, any highlights here? I found this to be a bore.
It absolutely was, much like this entire episode. He continues to kiss multiple girls while he's staring at them. I cannot let that go.
Yeah.
Matt tells the model that he's into her. I'll play that for a second. And he gives the rose to Michelle.
Yep. So I thought he was recoiling from perhaps bad breath, but alas, she gets the rose. Next day.
Next morning.
Heather continues to travel down the Da Nang into insanity. But let's get to the man, the myth, the guy from Pensacola or something, Tyler Chill. They shoot a little pool. And listen, he's beefing up a little bit. I like him more toned. His neck looks a little thick, but my God, is he handsome.
Yeah, he's a good-looking guy. I think Tyler Chill came in here with a few too many Mickey's Big Mouths because he had nothing to say about that ridiculous turtleneck. I also want to say this. I don't know if you guys heard this.
Oh, got it.
But Tyler Chill, I thought I heard him say, man, let's sneak out of here. There's some dimes back at the pad, a little beer pong, some strange will be like old times. And by that, I mean 3 weeks ago.
Okay.
I did hear that.
So,
and Matt's like, I got to stay.
Tyler, just getting back to some stuff that they actually did say. Tyler says, Matt, just be yourself. That's why we all love you. Who loves him?
I don't even know him.
Who are you talking about?
I don't know him.
The ratings are through the floor, Tyler Chill.
No one likes him.
That blame lands firmly in the lap of ABC because if you follow Matt James on TikTok, which I do, he is doing just some fantastic bits on his quote-unquote charcuterie boards. He's putting like little Debbie snacks and he's narrating. He's so funny. He's so funny. He actually just released charcuterie board number 4 today, and I haven't got a chance to check it out.
Is it a bit that he fucks up the word, or are you just inbred trash? What's happening?
It's a bit that he fucks up the word.
Okay,
he calls them charcuterie boards, and he puts snacks like little Debbie's on there.
Okay,
it's hilarious. It's very funny.
If I may, I'll be brief. I'm just going to launch this off of Nick. That is so uninspired and so boring and so lame. I hate every part of that.
Fuck you, Nick.
No. I'm glad Nick does the work that I don't want to do.
Yeah.
But this is the exact reason why Matt was such a piss poor choice for a bachelor. He really has nothing to offer. I'm sure he's a nice guy, and maybe he will be in a few years. He's going to probably have sex with a lot of girls that are DMing him for the next 5 years.
No, he's a Christian, remember?
Oh, sure he is. Sure. But I just wish the Bachelor would have, producers would have slowed down and make a more measured pick of who the Bachelor was going to be. Because now we're flipping. We're doing a 180 back to the milk toasty, plain Jane fucking Bachelorette world. No other than, forgive me if the spoilies didn't get out to whoever's listening, but it's going to be Vibrator Katie.
No, it's not.
Dylan, it's reality.
This happens every single year. It's like the Kardashians trying to figure out who's the rat. You give a couple of different picks out, and the first
it was
one,
Matt Damon.
The first one,
they're
that
saying
rolls,
they're putting feelers out there.
It's never, ever the first one, ever. It's never.
Okay.
It's going to be Serena Pierbury.
We did strongly stand on the mountain that it was going to be the Russian spy.
Yes.
That one year.
And it was not.
And it was not.
No.
Despite her.
It was going to be her, but Becca got dumped because she had a yeast infection and Ari got tired of her.
Stop.
Okay.
I'll bet you $50 is not Vibrator Katie.
All right.
And Pat says he's glad I do the work he doesn't want to do. Pat, I got to tell you, if you love what you do, you never have to work another day in your life. I'll wait for a charcuterie board number 5 every single day. I can't wait.
Okay, so next day.
Next morning.
We already said that. We're on the date of the next day. So, one-on-one. Katie comes in, very excited, too excited. Take it easy. You're going to get sent home with that kind of enthusiasm. Ooh.
There was one more part about Pat or Tyler Chill and Matt playing pool.
Yeah.
In an OTF, Matt James said that this process worked for Tyler Chill. So that's why I'm so glad he's here. And Baby Bird actually had a very similar line that I already written down.
It's really funny.
If you mean by the process working, that means 2 million Instagram followers. And what I had was an unlimited source of pussy or something like that. It sounded,
both can be true at once.
It sounded too harsh when I just said it there. But the point is, it didn't work for Tyler Chill, except he's rich now.
This is a horrific development live on the podcast.
Why?
The cap for the canola oil at the house fits perfectly on the cap of this Monopoly branded Pathwater bottle. And I'm getting tastes of canola oil as I drink this water. It's really gross. Okay.
Oh no, your canola oil is going to taste like water.
So,
or what is it?
The date is very fun. This is punked.
Did you have a good time seeing Matt struggle through the convoluted premise of this date?
No.
I did.
That makes two of you.
He gave one instruction. They had carte blanche to make this woman start making Tyler really uncomfortable, and they couldn't think of one thing to tell him. Twist his nipples?
What was
that's
it,
not going to
though?
set off a red flag?
He was
Tyler's
like,
going to get a handy or a rub and tug and in a deep massage and possibly sexually assault him for all of us to laugh at.
Okay.
No, can you imagine if the roles were reversed? Like you got a female there and then two
but
people
they
are behind the
wouldn't be
wall.
reversed.
Oh, we can't
They
do
wouldn't
this.
be reversed, right?
Squeeze his nipples.
You're really
Squeeze her nipples? What are you talking about? If the roles were reversed.
You're really destroying the premise of what is a very popular segment
Thank
of
you,
ours.
Nick.
All right, so Tyler C, I'm sure, goes to a lot of spas. He works his body pretty tough, and your recovery is important, but also he can prey on innocent massage therapists who are pretty powerless once they feel what he's made of. You know what I mean?
Especially when he drops that line. So what are you doing here? My best friend's The Bachelor.
You just took a big hit off that weed.
It was my first one tonight.
Okay, so Matt is a prankster, so this date is perfect for him. They ask the masseuse to rub Tyler's nipples, and it's all fun and downhill from there. Matt's got a rock hard midsection and titties too.
And dick.
Because I would not be bringing girls around Tyler C. Although he doesn't care about Katie, he knows he's going to send her home. But when they go out, Tyler C is in his undies. He's fucking rock hard, and Matt's like, "This is my buddy." Unless you're trying to arrange some type of "I'm cool with your dick too" threesome, I wouldn't bring them anywhere near Tyler C.
I agree with you.
It's like my friend Jesse, when we first met my wife. He's an Asian guy with 0% body fat. And he was like, let's go to the beach with Cece. And I was like, not happening. We're going to stay inside. We're going to keep our clothes on.
You should have been like, let's go to the nude beach.
Okay,
Best
so
in there.
Nice.
no, we've talked about it before. My penis is not that big. So night date.
Night date.
You just have to take a blue chew.
Lot of leg wraparounds.
All right.
Lot of leg
We
wraparounds.
get a run and a full leg wraparound. Now, these are generally reserved for hometowns, but I think Katie's trying to, break convention, She's kind of trailblazer, if you will.
All right, so deeper topics like dating.
I have
We're
no
on
clue
the
what they
docket.
said. Thank God you took notes.
She makes mention of the fact that she used to try to heal people, and there's a lot of talk of roses and whether or not he wants to give her one. And then I got worried because we had Michelle and Bree in a very forced conversation. And then we've got Matt saying the word "but" as he has the rose in his hand. And it's like I've woken up and there's a cadaver next to me and I'm chained up and there's a bone saw. And I'm piecing it all together. Katie's going home.
He did fool her. I do miss that, picking up the rose and telling her how much you're into her. He's like, Katie, when you showed up with that vibrator, you really set the tone for the other girls. I had no idea what he meant by that. And then he dumped her and he said, I don't have wife feelings for you. Oh, really, Matt? Imagine if you got married to Vibrator Katie. Imagine explaining that to your children. Hey, how'd you meet Mom?
She came out with a sex toy, and she just kept tapping everybody on the shoulder with it, and I just fell head over heels.
The girlfriend is a Bachelor Nation rookie. She hasn't watched the show a lot. So when he was holding that rose, she couldn't have been more sure that Katie was staying. I was like, oh, no. Oh, no, so naive. It was a little excessive, though, when he was like, when I met you, I never thought about marrying someone like this before. I never was more confident that someone could be my wife.
He's not one for consoling much.
Now, can I walk you out?
He says, I've fallen in love with you, and no one's made me feel the way that you feel, and I'm pretty confident that it's going to be us at the end of this. For those reasons, you're fucking out of here. Can I walk you out? It's just goes straight into, can I walk you out?
It's pulling the rug out from under.
No checking in, no how you doing, any final thoughts or anything like that. It's just, you have two choices. You can walk out of here without me, or you can come with me, but we're leaving now.
Dylan, this is where sorry to be a broken record, but we're almost done with this episode.
Yeah.
Sty Monster really ruined this because this is all weird because Matt has no real connection with anybody.
No.
It's all just based on physical attraction.
He hasn't spent time with Bree in 6 episodes. She was the first one-on-one. Abigail was the first impression. He has not spent any time with these people.
Yes. It's
which
very
is
odd.
why, and he's picking Rachel.
Yeah, I'm starting to agree with you.
She's white.
And I think Rachel Lindsay knows that, in which she must extract her pound of flesh.
Hot take. I think that's why she's so fired up. I don't think she would be that pissed off if Rachel was going home before or during Hometown. So, didn't Tyler Chill just tell him, though, take your time with girls?
He should have listened to Tyler Chill.
He should have listened to Tyler Chill. Okay, so let's get back to Heather, the person from this franchise people have been begging to see again. The girls are excited to make it all about the love stories at the cocktail ceremony, and he's glowing, and everything is good. And then once again, the producers are needlessly fucking with everybody. More. Slender Man does come in. She looks absolutely beautiful.
Wow. She's got that white dress and those clear heels with the French tips. I'm a footman, as you all know. I was not turned on. Not at all.
French tips on her toes.
Tips. I have a keen eye.
That's disgusting. That's really fucking disgusting. All right, so yes, this is the moment.
Amazing picture quality.
This is the moment that America's been waiting for. This is dog shit producing. There is no fucking point to this. But also, this show has glitches in the Matrix that are really, really fucking odd. So I want to take a look at this. I know that this is late in the show for a clip like this, and this is a little bit visual. But I think you'll still be able to hear this awkward pickup shot over the podcast. Through your ears. What?
Hi. You think I could talk to you for a sec?
Heather? Piper, I am so sorry.
Wait, now watch this.
I just need a couple minutes. I'll be right back. I'll see you.
My wife would explain.
What is this show?
Heather has all the power right now, and she just destroyed that 14-year-old.
But there's this
I
weird
hate
thing
that nickname.
where he's like laughing hysterically. Then it all of a sudden just stops, and he goes, "Piper, I'm so sorry. I need a couple minutes." And then it cuts back, and he's like, "I'll see you later." What the fuck is going on? This show is so bad. Why?
More.
Do we watch this? All right, so he says, "Hey, Heather." And I immediately thought something was up because I was like, how does he know her name? Nobody knows her name.
No, I didn't. I've been doing the recap of this show for 5 years.
Did you say he feels her up?
He's got her when they're sitting down. His hand is fully on her inner thigh. It's like, whoa, Matt. I think he forgot the fucking cameras were there.
Okay,
I'm pretty sure he slept with her.
The women are... that's a hot take.
Oh, yeah.
That's a hot take.
I think it's...
That's the only reason why she would be back is if they hooked up in the past.
Yeah, probably had a fun weekend down in Pensacola, Florida at their pad.
Yeah, they called themselves the Quarantine Crew.
Oh, that's right.
Right.
Yeah. I didn't know Heather was part of it, but I don't doubt Heather was part of it. If Hannah and Hannah are friends, I mean...
Ham steaks and blowjobs and hand jobs and just spitting
Instagram
on
stories.
Yeah,
we're really blowing the lid off this, boys. This is why we do this.
Right.
You sound Canadian right now.
I'm riveted.
We're blowing the lid off this, boys. What? Okay, so the women are NOT not happy, but we'll have to see what happens next week on The Bachelor.
Right. But before we do, the audience loves roll call. I'm not going to say this is one of my best, but I got to do it anyway. This is the emotions or the emotional states of every single one of those women. What they're feeling at this given moment. Here we go. Roll call of emotional states at this given moment. Well, Matt feels up Heather, who I believe he had sexual relations with. Piper's stressed. The Asian hates her. Chelsea's angry. Serena is rageful, and Kit calls her a bitch.
Okay, so guys, we'll see you next week. Oh, really quickly, sick karate scene at the end there. Had to throw that in.
He nailed it.
He didn't.
I didn't know if it was a bit, but he knocked that pillow out of her hand.
Yeah, she was holding it at the height of 5'7". If I did a high kick the other night. I can get my foot 2 inches over my head. I can kick a 6'4" man square in the face.
I don't.
Impressive.
This is just something I wanted to say. I guess you could say it was an error omission. I wanted to say this.
Yeah.
I don't know where it lands in the chronological
Hit that
order.
pen pretty hard. Huh?
Chronological order of the episode. But how about when he told Chelsea she had a chance? I thought that was the meanest thing he's done the whole time. He's had no time with her. She didn't give a one-on-one.
Oh yeah, that's right.
At one time, he was like literally like, he's like, no, you would still be here if he didn't like.
Yeah,
he
yeah.
has no chance.
I don't know how this is. She's a model.
Yeah.
We'll be back next week with more hot Bachelor content. Remember, jump in the iTunes ratings and reviews. I have a buzz in my headphone. I have a buzz. Patreon.com/Another Podcast Network. Another podcast show is there. That is where we gab, goof, and Josh about whatever we want. Maybe we'll start taking fan suggestions for that show. Love is Blind is coming soon, as well as merch. Head over to Facebook. Another Bachelor Podcast. Mix it up with the birdies there. We love you guys for listening. We'll see you next week. I'm Dylan saying goodbye. Nick, say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Pat, say goodbye.
Bye.